It is Thursday, August 28th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. All right. I just want to give a warning to all baseball teams out there, the ones that are currently out of the playoff picture. Pick it up. Let's go. Over the last month, I can't keep picking the same topics, okay? So stop it. Either that or do some interesting shit if you're out of the playoff race so we can talk about you. Isn't that fair?
I actually disagree. I think if you're out of the playoff race, just go into your hole and get ready for the offseason. Start your hibernation process.
Wow.
Yeah. What are we doing here? 12 teams make the playoffs because if you're not in contention right now, you don't deserve to be talked about. That is the truth.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily true because we're going to
Okay, then bring up some prospects. Let us get a look at them or something.
Exactly. Okay. Plus, we have two non-playoff contenders in one of our topics today, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But I want to start off with the tip of the cap. San Francisco, not sure if everybody saw this, late Wednesday night, relay throw by Kyle Tucker goes awry behind home plate. You're like, what the heck happened here? Well, another look at it, his relay throw hit right off of Matt Chapman's dome after he got a hit and was standing at first. Oh, man, I'm sorry. And Chapman's reaction afterward was hilarious. He was like, yay, I did it.
He's honestly one of the best guys in the sport. That looked like it hurt a little bit, but he's got a hard head or something. I don't know, man. That was funny.
So how fast, because it wasn't the hardest throw Tucker's ever made, but it was on a line. So how hard is that? Maybe low 80s?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that. I just worry about, like, what if, you're going to bite your tongue or something like that.
Oh, good call.
Maybe the mustache protected him. I think that's what it was.
Got him right on top of the head. I had a lot of Cubs fans in the mentions talking about Justin Turner was out of place there in first base. But I don't think so, because you have to be a little more on the grass.
Can you show that again before the throw, Dan? Or stop it now. I don't think he was expecting any sort of throw. He's not in the right place. I mean, okay. He's got to at least create a lane. I mean, Chapman's literally right in front of him.
Well, I'm talking about Turner. Is Turner in the right place or no?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he has to clear a lane.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
It was funny. Made me laugh. That's all I can say. Meantime, let's start off with the Boston Red Sox. Going for a 4-game sweep in Baltimore Thursday afternoon. They'll have Garrett Crochet on the mound. This after a drama-filled come-from-behind victory Wednesday night.
Swinging a high fly ball. That's deep to left. Backing up Carlson. Backing up. She's gone! He hit it out of here! Say Don strikes again! And the Red Sox are on top in the ninth. And in there for strike 3. 99 to end the ball game.
Yeah, that's 99 from Aroldis Chapman, who is having one of the great seasons that we've seen in recent years by a closer. Let's just give you some numbers. Since June 1st, Chapman has thrown 29 innings. His ERA is .31. He has allowed 6 hits in that time. What the heck are we seeing here?
We're seeing the best year of Aroldis Chapman's career. I mean, that's the truth. At 37 years old, I mean, the velo hasn't dropped at all necessarily. Like, he's dominant right now, and it's been really, really special. Signed a 1-year, $10.75 million deal that any team could have given this guy, and Boston was smart to go out and grab him. I mean, he's been good. He hasn't been this good. But I think, like, when you get in a situation, he was in Pittsburgh last year, get into a situation like this in Boston, and there's the New York-Boston rivalry, but it's a big market. I don't know. I feel like he is thriving because of it. But it's been just an absolutely dominant year from him.
It's been incredible. No, he's 41 consecutive batters without allowing a hit. This dates back to July 23rd and covering 14 appearances. He has become the most automatic 1, 2, 3 in the ninth that we have seen this year. Emmanuel Clase had an incredible season a year ago. There are people that are saying, well, he should get some Cy Young votes. I would agree with that. He'll get some. He's not in Cy Young contention. To me, there's a difference. It's going to come down to Crochet and Scooble for that.
You talking about Chapman or?
Yeah, Chapman.
Chapman should be a top 5 Cy Young guy.
Yes. I would agree with that. I just don't think that anybody else in the American League, Nathan Eovaldi, but unfortunately he's not going to pitch the last month. Maybe there's one or two other guys.
Cy Young 8 is the best that Chapman's ever done in his career. I'd expect him to eclipse that this year.
Yes.
He better, honestly.
So the bigger question with him, he's got now what, 360 saves, I believe. Is he going to end up in Cooperstown or not?
Dude, these are bad questions for us, Chris. These are bad questions because we say one thing and our social team puts out another thing. Love you, social team. T-Jack's #1 employee at John Boy Media. Love you. I think he should be a Hall of Famer. I also think Joe Nathan should be a Hall of Famer. Kenley Jansen should be a Hall of Famer. Craig Kimbrell should be a Hall of Famer. There's a bunch of guys, but that's just not the way it works. There's 9 relievers in the Hall of Fame right now. 9 of them. Okay? Billy Wagner had to wait until his last year of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, it just doesn't happen. And Aroldis Chapman, his stats don't match up to Billy's. I mean, they're close, but he doesn't have the longevity or the save amount, the save amount, of Billy Wagner. So, like, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame, Chris. Like, he's one of the best relievers of all time. But before he gets in, there's got to be a bunch of other guys to get in too. So is he going to get in? I don't know. I don't think so, but I think he should.
Well, if he stopped playing after this year, I don't think he would get in. I put him not just because they're all 3 are the same age, but Kenley Jansen, Craig Kimbrell, and Aroldis Chapman, they're all 37 years old. And so it's kind of easy to take stock of where they are at this age. And Chapman is 80 saves behind Kimbrell, and then Kenley Jansen has a few more.
But hold on. I think saves are the same thing as wins. Like, I don't think saves are like we should be using that. That's an old school stat because what about the opportunities? What's the percentage? That's what we need to be talking about, right?
Well, yes and no. Because if you are getting save opportunities, let's say even in a bad year, you have 22 saves. Well, there were years he didn't have any. He wasn't the closer on teams. And he wasn't even on the closer on bad teams at times. So you do have to, I think you do factor that in when you're talking about
But we've also changed the way we think about high leverage relievers in today's game. Like, a guy that puts out fires can pitch in any part of the game. And sometimes it's manager driven. So I don't think you can fault him for the lack of saves. I think save opportunities and saves and the percentage means more. But like we're talking about, I don't know, man. I just see the Hall of Fame like so differently. Like this guy's been one of the best pitchers in baseball since he debuted. Again, there's other guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame that also need to be put in the Hall of Fame. I would say like they're on a upper tier higher than Aroldis Chapman, but I think he's I don't know, man. How can you tell me that this guy right now isn't one of the best relievers that we've seen in the last 15 years?
Well, I mean, he does have the highest K rate per 9, I believe, in the history of any reliever. And it's right around 14.5. It's an astronomical number. I mean, even Billy Wagner was high, but there's guys who are there's only 8 guys that have more than 400 saves, right? Mo, Hoffman, Lee Smith are all in. Then it's Kenley and Kimbrell. K-Rod has maxed out, hasn't even reached 11% in any of the 3 years he's been on the ballot. John Franco fell off the ballot after 1 year. He's a guy that he was a longevity guy and was a grinder into his mid-40s, but only averaged 7 Ks per 9. So, and then Wagner, you mentioned, get in on the final attempt. I do want to bring up a couple other things when you're talking about Chapman in the Hall of Fame, since we are so good at the Hall of Fame discussions. What are the 2 most famous pitches Aroldis Chapman has ever thrown?
Oh, that's not fair.
Well,
one is Roger Davis.
Yeah.
Your Cleveland Indians.
Yep.
The other one,
Jose Altuve.
Didn't he throw a pitch like 104 miles an hour too?
Yes, he did, but we don't even know who it was against. We don't know what team he was pitching for, the whole bit.
For the Reds. I don't know who
No,
he
I
was
think
against.
he
wasn't?
go higher than that as a Pirate or something,
He could have been.
right? So
That's not
kind of my
fair,
point.
dude.
Wait, why is that not fair?
What does that have to do with his like long, beautiful, illustrious career?
Well, because when you talk
pitches?
about Hall of Famers, you don't think, oh my God, his this, that, the other thing. You think about the best thing they did in their career.
I'm trying to think now what I think about some of these relievers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Eckersley's by far his most famous pitch.
Yeah, but then after that, there's a
Oh,
long
stop!
list.
See, don't talk. That's
There's a lot.
that's the
Hey,
most.
he did get-
That might be the most famous pitch. One of the most famous pitches in baseball history.
It probably is, but he
We're
also
talking
got
about
the
Kirk
last
Gibson's
out.
walk-off homer. People.
He also got the last out of the '89 World Series. So there's that.
Gosh, who got the last out in the Cubs? Mike Montgomery
Yes,
versus
against Michael Martinez, little
Michael
bouncer. to Chris
Martinez.
Bryant.
That was a hell of a way to go out, guys.
Yep. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. You're right. Listen, with closers, they're like defensive backs. They're going to give up their bad plays all the time. It's just, do you have significantly more good plays than bad? And he has. I don't know. It's interesting. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this because the closer situation is underrepresented. The reliever situation, we should say, is underrepresented in Cooperstown.
Especially the way that we treat relievers in today's game. You have to imagine that the voting will change. But then it's hard because we're talking about guys like Joe Nathan, who go look at the numbers with this guy.
Great.
And he's not going to sniff the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Joe Nathan, shout. I actually have.
Oh, yes.
My Joe Nathan mug right here. 255 saves. I think he became the Twins' all-time save leader with this one. It says, "Stay thirsty, my friends." And it's got a little insignia with my name on it.
How's that smell?
Dusty.
Yeah. Not clean. Do not use that, please, anytime soon. Let us know where you sit on Aroldis Chapman in the Hall of Fame. Let us know where you sit with other relievers, underrepresented, represented just right. A lot of stuff to get to in the comments section. But he's had an amazing year regardless. All right, things got more interesting in the National League East, didn't they? They sure did. Mets beat the Phillies for a 10th straight time at Citi Field. This time it was a kid taking center stage.
Bitter at the dribbler. Off the mound, McClain. Side retire. 8 scoreless innings for Nolan McClain in his 3rd Major League start. A brilliant performance by the rookie.
I'm a confident guy. Obviously, the hitters here are the best in the world, and I know that. But I also know, I have good stuff, and if I go out there and execute, I can get a lot of guys out as well.
Yeah, we're finding that out, Nolan McClain.
Yeah.
By the way, how is he only 24? He looks like he's 35.
It's a hard college life at OSU. I don't know. Hey,
it's Oklahoma State, by the way.
This is a guy who just did a chemical peel on his face to look younger, so who am I to talk?
Did you really? Welcome.
Dude, it's awesome. Although I don't think you can see it on camera. Maybe you can. I'm peeling like crazy.
Yeah, that's what happens. You peel. Yeah. So you've taken the dive. Once you start, you're not going out.
This is my second one. I did one maybe a couple of years ago, just on a whim. Olivia made me do it. I think this one I needed though.
I've never done it. Never done anything. This is all natural. Just letting you know. Let's get back to the kid. 3 starts. He has wowed the world. And last night he helped the Mets get back to hey, easy there, Dan, on the sound. Thanks. Last night he helped the Mets get back within 4 games of the Phillies, and they still have a 4-game series coming up in a couple of weeks in the city of brotherly love. The question here is, does he really feel like something special, or is he being New York overhyped?
I will say this. Okay, we're 3 starts in, and you can't really think anything after 3 starts. But I will say the first time I saw him start, which was his debut, I was like, "Holy, this guy can spin it." It's the first thing I said. Breaking pitch is great, the sweeper, the curveball, but I think the pitch we're seeing right there against Harrison Bader might be his best pitch, his sinker. Keeping the ball in the ballpark, and he has the stuff. I like the mechanics. It's very repeatable. He's throwing strikes. I like his attitude. He said, I know these are the best hitters in the world, but I know I got good stuff. Like, it all charts. I got into a little bit of a pickle when I said Jacob Mizorowski and Paul Skeens should be mentioned in the same breath. I think Mizorowski's stuff is that good, but he's been erratic. He's walked guys. He's got to figure it out. Where Paul Skeens is obviously very much more polished than Mizorowski is. So I'll hesitate here to really go in on McLean. I think he can be a savior for the Mets season. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't think that's too much to say. I will say yes and yes to both answers because I think both can be true. Like, he can have great stuff, but if he had made his debut with the Kansas City Royals, it wouldn't be that big. Just wouldn't, because it happened with a New York team. And, his 3 starts have been against Seattle, who's a playoff team right now, the Atlanta Braves, who have been one of the rivals of the Mets, even though they're having a down year. Mets fans, whenever they play them, whether the Braves are in it or not, they always get a little antsy. And now against the Phillies in a huge opportunity to sweep a series at home and get within 4 games. So he's kind of had the bright light shining on him. I love finding out a little bit more about his repertoire. He throws 6 different pitches, and we're not talking about throwing it like once or twice a game. First of all, 71 of his 95 pitches were strikes. That's 75%. He led with his sweeper. He threw that almost 30% of the time. Then he threw his sinker, curveball, and fastball, each at least 16% of the time. As a hitter, if you go up there and you can eliminate pitches, it makes your at-bat easier, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you've got one that's working and they're all being thrown for strikes, then what are you doing as a hitter? Yeah, you're tipping your cap.
Baby.
That's it.
I mean, you're looking for a mistake. That's it. It becomes very difficult. The guys that can throw, this is what we always used to say. If you have 3 pitches for strikes, it's going to be a long day for a hitter. If you have 2 pitches for a strike, that's kind of like an average day. But if there's only 1 you can throw, that's when we really take the advantage. It seems like he's got 4 or 5 that he can throw for strikes.
The thing I liked about Mendoza afterward, he said, listen, the best guys are going to pitch for us down the stretch and into October. And I know that Mets fans are going to be super excited when Tonga makes his debut. I believe it's on Friday. And if both these kids wow everybody over the last few weeks, they will be getting the baseball even with 0 playoff experience in October. And I think that makes it fun. It can make it a little nerve-wracking, especially since McLean, the one thing he's significantly improved on are his walk numbers. He was about a 2.5 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio guy in the minors. It's over 5 here at the big league level. And he said, that's because I trust my defense. Oh, okay. I get it. But I'd want to throw strikes regardless of where I am. But it's working for him.
This is the most important stat if he wants to continue doing what he's doing. He's got a 66% ground ball percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. Keep the ball in the ballpark. Let your defense work. If you trust him, let him work. That's very, very important at the big league level.
Very quickly, do you think that I'm not even going to say Philly fan. I'm going to say the Phillies in the clubhouse. Do you think they're worried?
No, I mean it's baseball. Would have they liked to have won one of those games to maybe cushion the lead a little bit more? Yeah, of course. I mean, they understand that the season's not over. They have a whole month to play. It's not like it's going to be easy sailing for them. But I don't think there's a more confident clubhouse in all of baseball. I just don't. These guys have been there, done that. They're truly like grizzled veterans there. They don't let one series, even if it's a sweep by the hands of their rivals, get to them. They just don't.
Next time these two teams will see each other is going to be a week from Monday, a 4-game set in Philadelphia. So they each have 2 series coming up.
I bet they are juicing for that.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see it be no more than 3 games when it gets to Philly.
Okay.
That'll make it very interesting. I know I've said the whole time that I don't think Philly's given up the lead, and I still don't think it. Doesn't mean I don't want to see it get interesting. So let's go, Metsies. Come on. I'm even wearing their hat today. I want to see you hang in there. Don't ride this wave of emotion that you just had and now go into these next 2 series and go like 2-4. or whatever it is. It's 3 series? I guess it's 3 series. Whatever it is. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Please. God, I can't take it. Today's episode, Baseball Today. It is sponsored by Roe. Roe Sparks, a prescription treatment that contains sildenafil and tadalafil. Roe Sparks helps you stay in the moment longer and enjoy intimacy without worrying about timing. Now, Roe connects guys with a medical provider 100% online. So you know what that means? No awkward conversations with in-person provider. If approved, treatment ships directly to your door. Just let Rose Sparks dissolve under your tongue, and in just 15 minutes on average, Rose Sparks, they get to work. Rose Sparks helps you stay in the moment longer and enjoy intimacy without worrying about timing. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get 15% off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/baseball today to find out if a prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That is ro.co/baseball today, 15% off your first order. Now, compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For full safety information, go to ro.co/safety info. All right, we get back to the show. Talked about Aroldis Chapman a little bit earlier. We're going to focus on another reliever, made the All-Star team this year over in the National League. Milwaukee's Trevor McGill. However, he lands on the injured list, a strained flexor tendon.
It's never ideal, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days, and just move along from there. My intentions are to be off on 15, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. So just going to work hard and get some good rest and come back strong.
How worried are you about this?
Scale of 1 to 10, I guess 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good number. I mean, he settled me down a little bit, the way he's talking about the injury, that he's going to take these 15 days. It's not a big deal. He tried to pitch through it. All these things makes me feel like, hey, maybe he can be back. As long as he is back by October, he doesn't have to be pitched at all in September for me. Like, go get, I guess there's no, how do you even do it? There's no rehab starts or no rehab stints really, because the minor league season will be done. So as long as he's throwing full go, some live BPs, all those things before October, great. Don't worry about it. The Brewers have guys that can fill in September. I think they have enough of a lead in the division. They're a good enough baseball team that they don't just rely on one player. So all that tracks where I brings my level of concern down. At the same time, I mean, he's a closer, man. Like, that guy's attitude and the way he throws the ball, like, he is who you want in the 9th inning right now if you're the Brewers. Do they have other guys that can do it? Sure. But you want Trevor McGill closing games out for you. So, hopefully it is that way, and it only is 15 days and then a little bit of a ramp-up period. It sounds like kind of like best case scenario. So maybe I shouldn't be as worried as I am, but there's something about him in the back end of that bullpen that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you nailed it perfectly with your diagnosis in terms of a scale from 1 to 10. I think how they're going to end up doing it is exactly the way you talked about it. They also, not only Uribe, Ashby, Koenig, Mears, Shelby Miller is now a veteran that's over there with them as well. So if you need somebody to close out games, he's a guy that can do it for short term, I think. The other thing that you mentioned was the standings, right? They've got a 6.5 game lead over the Cubs. They also have a 6-game lead over the Dodgers for the top spot in the National League. That is a pretty serious cushion with a month to go. I think it also gives them an opportunity to play the if-then scenario, right? They're not just going to sit here and wish, well, let's hope that McGill's okay when we get to October. What they have to say is, let's say he does come back and he throws in the playoffs and then he, for whatever reason, he's done. How do we go about this? So they can have a system in place where, great, we got him, we know what we're doing. We know how we're dealing with things. But if we don't have him, then what is the scenario? And they will have had a few weeks without that.
Do you think it's not hot hands, but like lanes? Because you have righties, lefties in the back end of that bullpen, which is nice to have if you're Pat Murphy. So do you think they just do that and say, hey, we're going to see the situation and it's going to be one of these three guys, and then depending on pitch usage, all that? Or do you think they say, hey, like, you're going to be Uribe, you're going to be our closer?
I would think lanes
Me too.
with the guys
I was
that they've
hoping you were
got.
going to say that. I think that's exactly what they will do, and I think it's exactly what they should do.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be nerve-wracking, particularly for a Milwaukee fan base that has seen not much go right when they've gotten to October, right? They want to go into this thing with their complete arsenal because
One pitch last year.
no, but it was a pretty big pitch,
It was a big pitch.
you know. And a few years ago, it was one big pitch against Freddie Freeman by Josh Hader.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
You know, they were that close, I think, to getting to a fifth game.
And then in 2019, Washington Nationals,
Yeah,
wasn't it
Ball
Trent
under-
Grisham that booted one?
ball under Grisham. Yeah, that Soto hit. Yeah, cleared the bases. Yeah, they've had some heartbreaking moments, and you would like to see them get in this thing 100% healthy. I know the Dodger fans will be screaming, well, what about us? You know, I get it. There's a thinner margin of error for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Dude. You know what? They don't need anybody. They just need Andrew Vaughn. That's all they need. Still with a negative WAR on the season, although
Well, hasn't he fallen by the wayside a little bit?
he's gotten down, but obviously his first 6 weeks or whatever the heck they've been have been incredible. Still, though, with a negative WAR on the season, it's been so good with the Brewers. Gosh, that's crazy, man.
It is. All right,
1.2 WAR in 41 games for the Brewers, negative 1.8 in 48 games for the White Sox.
What's his WAR with the Brewers?
1.2. This is Baseball Reference WAR.
Got it. People will yell at you for using that, by the way.
Who cares?
I know.
It's
People get very
it's a made up stat because I know it's not a made up stat. I understand there's an equation, but the fact that we have like several wars,
Well, it is a made up stat because somebody has to plug in the stats. It just doesn't come up from Warville. I mean,
that doesn't mean it's a made up stat,
but it is made up. It's created by somebody who says, "Well, this is how it's figured out."
I guess.
It is a made up.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to start talking about this.
But it is made up.
Let's start out BT WAR, where a lot of things go into the equation.
I love that.
How good looking are you?
We're gonna factor. We're gonna come out. Oh,
and sometimes your good looks will work against you, and sometimes they'll work for you. Because sometimes I like an ugly masher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is that intentional coming off of the Andrew Vaughn?
Oh, hey, that's a good one.
He's gotten some interesting still photos taken of him in the dugout.
Who's the best ugly masher in the game is such a great topic.
That's not fair. The pictures that he's had taken of him are
off the top of my head. Who's the ugliest masher in the game? We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Can we get to the craziest stat from Wednesday's action?
It's Kyle Schwarber.
This is not going to help either of us. So, can we just move on? I don't mind being the ugliest person on this show.
I don't, dude. Like,
I don't mind it.
I mean, no offense to Kyle Schwarber. It's like almost like the opposite of offense. I'm applauding him.
You're trying to dig yourself out of a hole.
No, I think we're
list of the craziest stats.
Let's just
from Wednesday. What was the craziest stat of these four things that happened? You had the Yankees saw 77 pitches from the Nationals in a 41-minute, 9-run bottom of the third. You had Seattle's Brian Wu, who went 5 2/3 in the win over San Diego, failing to complete 6 innings for the first time all season. You had the Reds, who finally got swept in their 43rd season of the year. It happened out in L.A. against the Dodgers. And you had Angels position player Oswald Peraza, who gave up 8 runs in a third of an inning in a 20-3 loss to the Rangers.
I think I'll go the 77 pitches and 41 minutes for a half inning is insane. Imagine being a position player or a catcher out there. It's absolutely brutal. Also, Brian Wu finishing 1 out short of the 6-inning mark is very, very tough. But obviously, it's a very important game, and you can't really think about stuff like that. So I'll go the Yankees, though, because I can just imagine myself being at third base and just MFing the pitchers. Just MFing the pitchers.
At least there were balls flying out of the yard that inning. Like, not everybody walked, I don't think.
It doesn't matter. You're just like, what are we doing? What if you got to go to the bathroom? 41 minutes.
Well, with a pitching change, you'd have ample time.
You only get so much time. It's like a minute 40 or something like that.
Gotta go pee quickly.
Gotta go.
Sarah Langs, everybody's great friend, pointed out that the 03 Marlins, the only team to throw more pitches in an inning over the last 25 years or something, they threw 91 pitches in the first inning at Fenway. So I said 91. I had to go look up the game. Boston scored 14 runs in the first inning of a 25-8 win, I believe is what it was.
Ugh.
The starter, Carl Pavano, and then the guy that relieved him, Michael Tahara, neither of them registered an out.
Wow. Back-to-back guys couldn't get an out?
They had to use a third pitcher before they could get the first out of the game. Is that crazy?
Carl Pavano, man. He was a beaut.
Man. Yeah,
I got some hilarious.
Oh, wait, you played with him.
I have some hilarious Carl Pavano stories that I can't. I'll tell you after. They're not like they're so bad. I hate when people say it's not suitable for the air. It's just I don't think he'd want me telling the story, but I'll tell you.
Is there one good one you can?
Let me think about it.
Okay.
The ones that come to my mind, I have two that I'll tell you after. They're not crazy bad, so I don't want anyone to be like, "Oh, what do you do?"
Right. I get it.
It's just not really my place.
Yeah. Boy, Wu has been great. I didn't know that the 6th inning. I knew he had been really, really good, and I love that kid. I had a chance to talk to him twice, one at the All-Star game and once out in Anaheim. I think that dude's awesome. He's a special kid. He's been great for them. All right. Can
I say something real quick about Wu? I think that's probably one of the most, a top 3 most important stat in the game this year is the fact that he's been able to go 6 innings or more, 25 straight starts. That's insane. Should be applauded more. I think we kind of gloss over it and say, oh, that's great. But in today's game, it's awesome.
It was the longest streak to start a season by anybody in the history of baseball.
The other ones went over 2.
No, I think it was over 1.
I'm saying the other streaks went over 2 seasons, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, multiple seasons. Correct. You are correct, sir. All right, we almost had a little issue in Miami. Ronald Acuna hit again by Marlins pitching. This seems to be a tradition unlike any other. Took a few steps toward the mound, dropped the bat, obviously upset. Lots of nothing going on here, right? The bullpen's kind of emptied. The dugouts came out. It was more talk than anything else. But I want you to listen to Miami's longtime announcer, Tommy Hutton, about this.
If you're that mad, charge him. Yeah. If you're that mad, go after him. So you don't see that anymore.
No.
Yes.
Oh, you want me to react to that?
Yeah, you look like you were all hyped up to say something.
Well, dude, that's the ultimate back in my day. This is what we did. And truly, yeah, they fought more back in the day, but I don't think it's smart. Why are we advocating for any sort of and anybody to get hurt? You can express your frustration, dude. And I'll say this, that is spoken by a guy that's never been hit by a pitch, because I went back and looked at Tom Hutton's stats. Never got hit by a pitch in the big leagues. So, maybe you'd act differently if you got hit a few times. It doesn't feel good. It sucks. I broke a rib and lost a lot of money getting hit by a pitch. So, if you haven't been hit by a pitch, I don't think you should be saying, you should have charged, because how do you know what you would have done?
Yeah. And I will say,
hit by pitches right here.
How many?
25.
You're a ball magnet.
I guess. It's the worst. Getting hit sucks. Except if it's 0-2.
So, as usual, things do need context. And as usual, people didn't always provide them. And Tommy Hutton, by the way, I'm not here to take shots at the guy because he has been a long-time announcer there in Miami, has done some nice things. But I understand you get caught up in a game. This was the 9th time in 94 games against the Marlins that Acuna's been hit. He has been hit by the other 3 NL East teams a combined 9 times in nearly 250 games. So he understands it. Like, it also, Matt Olson had just hit a homer, I think. So felt a little strange. The timing, I don't think Gusto was going after him. Gusto explained afterward about the two-seamer. The scouting report is you got to crowd him, and it ran in on him. And I think all that is accurate. All of that is accurate. But the timing has, with all that being said, I have been at a couple of bench clearing brawls. One time, Roger Clemens was on the mound. This is the day after. This is an amazing story. The day after Doug Jones, who was an all-star reliever but did not throw hard for the Indians at all, threw one up and in on Tony Peña's head. Tony Peña, who was a catcher for the Red Sox at the time, turned to Sandy Alomar Jr., and he said, somebody's going down. Somebody's going down. So first pitch the next day, Stan Jefferson, slight hitting outfielder, gets hit right here on the elbow. Chris James, who is a crazy outfielder for the Indians, comes storming out, charging after Clemens. I don't think anybody got ejected, but it was a nasty-ass brawl. Horrible, horrible brawl. And I asked Carlos Baerga about it a few years ago, and he goes, dude, Stan Jefferson got hit so hard he passed out at home plate. I was like, what?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That hurts.
So
Shout out Carlos Baerga. We've had some fun conversations with him, huh?
dude, he is. And he's a good information guy.
He's lightning in a bottle, dude.
He gets his info. So
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, you get hit a couple times, you start to get pissed off, and just your emotions are running hot. Don't think you need to go and charge anybody. What's that going to do anyway? Baseball brawls don't happen anymore, and when they do, they're, very few and far between. And when usually benches clear, it's nothing.
I know.
We'll
I
just
can't even remember the last good one we had. You know what? Go find on YouTube your favorite brawl. Put it in the comments. I love doing that. Braves Padres from the mid '80s, where Ed Whitson has ripped his jersey off and is yelling at the crowd. That's an amazing. That one went on for like 20 minutes.
There's going to be a bunch of people in the comment section. You're so soft, Trev. You couldn't have lasted a second in 1970s baseball. I would hit fucking 80 homers in 1970s baseball.
Let me ask you a quick one.
If
I got hit by 95, do you think I'd cry?
No, it depends where. I don't think you'd cry though.
I have just an average tolerance of pain.
I don't cry from pain. Crying to me now is reserved for like emotional stuff. Pain doesn't make me cry. I don't think I've ever cried for pain. When you're an adult, you don't cry from pain.
Yeah, I guess not.
Unless
Hold on.
it's like, maybe.
Should I ask Michelle? No, you don't have to be on camera. Just open the door. I have a question for you. She doesn't want to be on camera this early in the morning.
Okay.
We were discussing if I got hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, let's say in the ribs, do you think I would cry? Yes? Yes.
I don't think you'd cry.
Did you hear that?
I would jump in front of the ball.
She said she would jump in front of the ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, honey.
Would you let her?
Actually, I think I would.
You wouldn't cry. Nobody cries. Like, that's what I've realized now. When you're an adult, you don't cry from pain. It's like if a dog dies in a movie, you cry.
Oh God, yes, I'm over. I MF the movie. By the way, I would not let Michelle take the pitch. For everybody's like, Rose, you asshole. I would not do that. That is my queen. You know that from dugout discussions.
Yes,
I would do anything for her.
You and I we're very similar.
Yes, we
are. I'm more handsome, but we both have just
definitely not smarter.
Beautiful, and we just love our wives.
Yeah, that is true. All right, that's it for an emotional Thursday edition of Baseball Today. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, who probably does take 95 to the ribs just because it's fun. He's like Happy Gilmore.
He'd cry. He's young.
And our intern, Sawyer. That is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Friday. Get y'all set for the weekend here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.